up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's time for my latest game pickups. Now I'm just getting over a cold. I mentioned in my last video, it was like the day I recorded that I was getting a sore throat. I could feel it coming on. So literally as that went away, I got a stuffy nose. I'm like, seriously? But it's all good now. I'm much better. Whatever, it is what it is. So the pickups, I mostly got like that handheld and then like home console type of stuff, and then like, you know, the Switch is obviously hybrid, but whatever. Let's just get into it. But just dropped the game. Yeah. Anyway, I've been going through kind of a JRPG fix lately, so I got Dragon Warrior Monsters for the Game Boy Color. Haven't gotten around to playing it yet, but still happy to have that. Speaking of which, I'm really happy to have this next one, because I first got into the Dragon Warrior, Dragon Quest games during my teen years. It was the Game Boy Color version of Dragon Warrior 3, so naturally I have a special place in my heart for that particular entry in the series. And I've been wanting to play it again, but it was like, I kind of want to try out like a home console version or something, so through some digging online, I found a English translated reproduction SNES version for about 20 bucks or something, and it's awesome. You know, I'm having it in the 16 bits. Well, that's a term I haven't used for a long time. And, you know, it's got, like, obviously updated, you know, better sounding music and sound effects and all that, and there's actually swears in this version, too, which, you know, that's pretty commonplace now, but still, it's kind of funny hearing, like, words like ass and bastard in a SNES game. Next, I got a couple of Dreamcast games. First one is Crazy Taxi, which I have the digital version of this on the 360, but what's a Dreamcast without Crazy Taxi, you know? Plus, I kind of like this version better, partially because it had more like punk bands in it, like Offspring and Bad Religion, which, granted, the 360 you can just use your own custom playlist, but that's beside the point. The other game is Time Stalkers, which I haven't gotten around to playing this yet, but from what I understand, it's kind of like Chrono Trigger. You know, it looks cool, it sounds cool, so I'll definitely give that a shot at some point, you know. Because like I said, I've been going through a JRPG fix lately. I'm focused on Dragon Warrior at the moment, or Dragon Quest, whatever. This game's been on my list for a while. It's Metroid Fusion for the Game Boy Advance, which it's in a case here. Can get it out of there. Come on. There we go. This is basically the sequel to Super Metroid, you know, because there was like Metroid on the NES, then Metroid Return of Samus for the Game Boy, then Super Metroid, then this one, you know, aside from the other ones like Metroid Prime and all that, but, yeah, I finally picked this one up. It's awesome. Yeah, basically the plot is that Samus encounters this, like, virus, or virus species type of thing, yeah, and it infects her suit, and then she has to get it, like, all surgically removed, and then they inject her with Metroid DNA, which, like, basically, she's, like, reborn, is basically the best way to put it, and then this virus infects the ship and starts, infecting, like, other species and aliens and stuff, and, like, mutating them and stuff. It's, like, if you're a fan of Super Metroid, it's definitely worth checking out. This is another game I've been wanting to get, that I've always wanted to play. Kirby Mass Attack for the DS. It's not like your typical Kirby game, it's more of a point-and-click game, which, that's the thing, you know, where, you know, Kirby doesn't have, like, all the copy abilities and stuff. It's like he multiplies himself to, like, solve puzzles and then, sticky residue on here, and attack enemies and stuff, but, like I said, I always wanted to give it a shot, because the thing is, I don't hate point-and-click or motion control games. I just have to be in the right mood to play them. So, it's not bad. Now we're moving on to the Switch. Got this one, I mentioned this in my What's on My Switch video that I did last month. So, it's Mario Tennis Aces. Out of, like, all the different sports Mario titles, the tennis ones I did kind of enjoy a bit. Like, I remember I rented a couple of them back in the day, and I thought, I'll give it a shot. Once you get the hang of it, it's actually a lot of fun. And there's a whole bunch of characters. The story mode is awesome, because it's not just, like, the story adventure mode, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's not basically just like you're beating all the characters in tennis. It's like you have to solve like puzzles and stuff. You fight bosses. Like, for example, you fight Petey Piranha, who it's like you have to wear him down. Then you hit him with the ball and knock him down, and then you hit him in his weak spot or something for him to lose life. Which his weak spot, which if you ever played Mario Sunshine for the GameCube, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, fun game. These next two were kind of like whim buys because I saw them at Walmart for $20 and I was like, what the hell. The first one is Hasbro Game Night with Monopoly, Trivial Pursuit, and Risk, which those are all fun games. And that's the thing, it's, it's like, like I said, I was like, what the hell. I mean, it's the kind of, like I said, these games are fun to play with friends and stuff, and it's like, if you don't feel like digging out the board game or something and setting it all up, it's simpler, yeah. This other one's better, so to speak. It's Rayman Legends Definitive Version. Edition, excuse me. And I've never really got into the Rayman games, but this one is awesome. Yeah, I love that. That says it right on the back there. The rock and roll musical levels, like which the first one is on a castle in a place like it's basically like a version of Black Betty by Ram Jam, and I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. There's a variety of characters which are unlockable, which is pretty much just like different, like not really characters, more just like skins and stuff. But it's a great platformer, a lot of fun. There's a whole bunch of unlockables and stuff. So yeah, I've been enjoying that. The last Switch game I got is Yoshi's Crafted World. This was a game I was looking forward to, and it actually came out on my birthday. It's your average Yoshi game, like, which is, we've had these since the Super Nintendo, like Yoshi's Island and stuff. It has a bit of a Paper Mario feel to it as well, and then there's, like, these 5 stones which you're trying to collect, which I remember that from one of the trailers, people were making reference to, like, the Infinity Stones, even though it's, the only color there isn't is the orange, which would be, like, the Soul Stone, so it just makes me think of a scene from Infinity War when he's like, where is the Soul Stone? But yeah, very fun game. Been enjoying that. There's a whole bunch of unlockables, like cute little costumes and stuff which you can get for Yoshi. It's a fun game. Now, the last game I got is actually a digital game for the for the Xbone. Excuse me. This has been on my list for a while, and I did finally get it. It's the Capcom BMUPS bundle, which beat-em-ups are my favorite video game genre of all time, so I think part of the reason I love those so much because growing up in the 90s, I watched a lot of like action and martial arts movies and stuff. Plus, it's just the repetitiveness of those games that I really enjoy. And, yeah, you got the classics on there like Final Fight, Captain Commando, King of Dragons. There's like ones that I've never heard of. Like there's one, I'm drawing a blank on the name. It was like Armored Warriors or something, which is like it's a beat 'em up with where you drive mechs. It's actually really cool. Part of the reason I was holding off on this was because I was like waiting to see if there was going to be a physical release, but then I was just like, you know what, screw it. So, but it's awesome. I'm so glad to have that. And if they ever do come out with, a physical version of it or something, I might double dip and get the Switch version or something. But still, it's sweet because it's funny. Like when you play that online, it reminds me of like the days of like in the arcade when you're like playing a beat 'em up or something, and then somebody comes over and starts playing it with you. Like I remember doing that with Final Fight back in the day. Because that's the thing. It's like you remember those days, like in the arcade when you're playing a game and somebody comes and plays it with you, and then you fast forward like 20 years later, give or take 10 to 20 years later, and it's like you're playing a game online and somebody starts. You're playing with games with people online. It's like, oh, I wonder if that's one of these is that person I played like Final Fight or Metal Slug with back in the arcade. And one last thing, speaking of these collections, I know Konami is coming out with some new ones. The thing is, I've Konami, which like I don't know, I feel like I've said this before in other videos. I feel like the Konami we once knew and loved I don't think they're coming back. Like I've come to the acceptance of that, and somebody really hit the nail on the head. It was like. It's really like kind of like a lose-lose situation. It's like if these collections don't sell well, Konami's going to be like, oh, well, people don't care about these franchises, so just whatever. And then, but if they do sell well, Konami's like, oh, I guess people do still like these games. Yeah, we're still not doing anything with them. Like, somebody had pointed that out, and he's exactly right, yes. But, I don't know, I might get one of them. I haven't really decided yet. We'll see, we'll see what happens, so. Yeah, it's all my pickups, not too much this time, so thanks for watching, everybody. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to keep you updated with my uploads. Speaking of which, next week I'm going to be doing another countdown video, so tune in for that, and thanks for watching again.